The sound of a siren cuts through the night, loud, urgent, demanding space. It's the sound of help on the way, the sound of hope when minutes matter most. But here's the part of the story they don't tell you. That sound, that system, the whole idea of paramedics rushing in to save lives before you ever reach the hospital, it was born in a black neighborhood. I bet you didn't know that the EMS service you see today, the ambulances, the paramedics, the people trained to treat you right on the street, was actually started by black people. Let me tell you how. So, in the 1960s, before 911 was what it is today, emergency care in most cities was almost a joke. If you had a heart attack or got shot or were in a car crash, chances are the police would toss you in the back of a wagon or a hearse and drive you to the hospital. No CPR, no oxygen, no IV, no treatment, just a ride. In Pittsburgh's Hill District, a mostly black community, that reality was even worse. Police often refused to come, they came late, or treated residents with disrespect when they did show up. People were dying, and not just from their injuries, but from the lack of proper care on the way to the hospital. The community was desperate for something better. That's when Freedom House, a local civil rights organization, stepped in. They were already working to provide training and opportunities for black men in the Hill District. Men who were unemployed, men who had records, men who were veterans coming back from Vietnam with few options. Partnering with Dr. Peter Safar, the man known as the father of CPR, they built something brand new. They created the first ever ambulance service with trained paramedics. Not just drivers, but real medical professionals right there in the back of the truck. These young men went through a 32-week training program that was tougher than what most people expected. Hundreds of hours of anatomy and physiology, advanced first aid, nursing techniques, CPR, even defensive driving, because rushing to save lives meant they had to master the road too. And when they rolled out in those Freedom House ambulances, they were unlike anything the city had seen. For the first time in America, a call for help meant trained medical care came to you. They could do CPR right there. They could start an IV, intubate, treat a gunshot wound, stabilize a heart attack, all before the hospital doors even opened. The results were immediate. In their very first year, Freedom House responded to nearly 6,000 calls. They transported more than 4,000 patients. Dr. Safar's own data show that they saved at least 200 lives in that first year alone. Imagine that, 200 people being alive because of a program the city never believed would work, led by people the city never thought would succeed. Residents of the Hills District knew the difference instantly. Where once calling for help meant waiting, now ambulances came in under 10 minutes. And those who stepped off those trucks, they cared. Not just about the work, but about the people, about the neighbors. That compassion set the tone for what emergency care should be. Soon, even the police, who once dismissed them, started calling for Freedom House when the emergencies were too big, too urgent, or too life or death. Their reputation spread across Pittsburgh. Their motto caught the attention of leaders across the country. Freedom House was writing the playbook for what emergency medicine would become. But here's where the story turns. By the mid 1970s, as Freedom House's model gained national attention, the city of Pittsburgh decided to create its own citywide EMS system. And instead of building on what Freedom House had already pioneered, the city shut them down. Many of the same black paramedics who had proven themselves as the best in the field were denied jobs in the new system. Still, the truth couldn't be erased. The national EMS training standards, the way ambulances are designed, the idea that care starts before the hospital, all of that comes directly from Freedom House. They raised the bar, and the entire world followed. So the next time you see an ambulance fly by, remember the Hill District. Remember the young black men who became the first paramedics, and remember the Freedom House ambulance service. Because this is why it's important to know your history. They'll tell you we didn't create anything, that we weren't innovative, that we didn't lead. They'll paint us as uneducated, incapable, as people who had nothing to contribute. But the proof is right here. The entire EMS system in America stands on the shoulders of black excellence. The sound of the siren, that's our sound. That's our legacy. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that they won't put in your textbook. Peace.